I was concussed twice in college from rubber bands.
Like sapphire. I'm like,
You're like, what does
yay?
that mean?
I think that's good. Good
You're
job,
like, is
Sam.
that a good one?
Wait, I have one more. We didn't even
Oh.
ask the most basic question ever.
Welcome to the Sportscast, Move the Sports and Stuff Show, the Kings of Comedy. I'm Adam,
I'm Carter.
And I'm Lexi.
and let's get right into it.
Did you almost say my name again?
I was about to say that. For some reason, we've been doing this intro for so many times.
Yeah.
But every single time we almost mess it up. Last time, I think it was 2 episodes ago, I just said, "What's up, Sportscast?" and then just dumbed out.
That was.
And then I didn't say anything, just
Yeah.
stare at the mic or camera for 5 seconds.
Yeah,
But
Jenna and I would struggle sometimes with our intro.
we're like,
Or we
what was
would
your intro?
I think it was welcome back to Hold the Mic. I'm Jenna, I'm Lexi, and let's get into this episode. Or
Oh.
yeah, it was always welcome back to Hold the Mic. I'm Jenna, I'm Lexi. I feel like Jenna always went first.
Really?
Yeah, if we said I'm Lexi, I'm Jenna, I don't know, it didn't flow as well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it works fine either way. We kind of switch it off every episode. but
Gotcha.
yeah, we have Lexi here.
Hi.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Lexi. I am from Las Vegas, Nevada. I graduated from Boise State last May, so year post-grad. Finally out of that year. The first year post-grad sucks, but I made it and was on the dance team all 4 years that I was here, was an Alpha Chi, just kind of involved in a lot. Met Adam through the Arbiter. I was a sports reporter and then sports editor there, so that's how I got connected with Adam. And yeah, just visiting for the weekend.
Yeah.
And back in Boise. Good to be back.
Woo. Yeah, Lexi, I kind of took as my mentor my first year of college because I was a freshman, she was a senior.
Yeah.
It was kind of just yeah, I mean, but I'm here. She's the reason I got the job at the Arbiter.
Yes.
So, woo.
That is true.
Yeah. So awesome. You're into dance,
Yes.
as you know.
Yep.
So we do have a couple questions for you.
Go for it.
Speed round. What is your favorite choreographed dance?
Ooh, that's a good one. So I'll kind of explain first, but this past year I was able to work as a professional choreographer and work with a lot of high school and some college teams doing their nationals routines, doing that choreography. And it's been so much fun. I've got to travel all over some really, really cool places. I would say my favorite routine, it's so hard to pick a favorite. And I'm a choreographer where I choreograph every different style. So I do hip hop, game day, pom, jazz. Where some choreographers are just kind of focused on one. And so it's hard to compare a pom to a hip hop. But I would say one that I'm most proud of is a hip hop that I did in Colorado. The school is called Smoky Hill. They're bringing me back again this year, and I'm really excited about it. But they're just such a hardworking team. And last year, Colorado State competition for dance is so big. And last year, they didn't make it to finals at state. And they were in the high 10s. I can't remember what exact place they were. But then this year they made it to finals and they came in 5th. So they jumped a ton after working with them and doing their choreography. And then at nationals, they didn't make finals last year. And this year they were able to make finals. And so I was really excited for them. And yeah, it was probably a routine and a team that I was just most proud of. And they were awesome to work with. So probably that one. That one's always the one that comes first to mind, I guess.
What do they normally score in dance when they do in choreography?
Yeah, so every competition is different. It's so weird. I wish there was just one scale that every competition uses, but each competition is different. But usually it's out of 10. So it's there's different categories.
Oh, with the scorecards, they go
kind of,
a
but
dunk
not
contest,
really. It's
but for-
a sheet, and it has choreography is a subject on there, performance is a subject on there, staging, and so it's as a choreographer, you can't control the team's performance. That's on them, but your job is to make sure they get the highest points possible for staging, and choreography.
Oh.
And then there's execution. Obviously, it's the skills that you incorporate in the routine, but also it's that's on the team. That's not really the choreographer's job. So it's a scale, and then judges will score based off of how the team does. So it's kind of crazy because it's the judges' personal opinions of what they think. And obviously there's a scale that they go off of. But yeah, it's a crazy world. And it's you want to figure out how the best way to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Do you know anything about choreography and dance? Did that any?
No, not really, bro. Just the scoring. My little sister's been a dancer for
Yeah.
like her whole life, so I've been to my fair share of
Of competitions.
recitals and
Yeah.
competitions. And I remember when she was like littler, they would score her with like gems. It'd be like sapphire,
Yes,
ruby,
yeah.
something like
They,
that. I'm
they
like,
get the gold
High
sticker.
gold, platinum.
yeah, they'll like say like sapphire. I'm like,
You're like, what does
yay?
that mean?
I think that's good. Good
You're
job,
like, is
Sid.
that a good one?
Yeah.
And that's like a whole other world. Like I focus directly on like the dance team world, and then like All Star is kind of like. Have you guys heard of All Star Cheer?
Nope.
I
Like
think
CA
so.
Bullets and stuff. I don't know if you've seen it, but so there's
CA
like All Star
Bullets.
for dance. And so then there's studio, which like that's like the high gold, the platinum, like at competition. So it's like the dance world is so huge. But I focus directly on like dance team, which is like high school and colleges, and then All Star.
Mm.
So
When you said that, I was thinking like, oh, you get 3 gold smiley faces out of 5 rubies.
yeah,
Something like
and
that.
everyone like not everyone places, but everyone gets that type of award
Oh.
because they don't want people. We're at
Is it
dance
just
team
for younger?
competitions. It's just like first through third get a
Yeah.
trophy, and then the rest just like our placements.
Oh,
So
man.
yeah,
don't-
it's wild.
How was it like getting into like college for dance?
Yeah, so
Because didn't you get a full ride?
Oh,
Or no?
no.
Oh, whoops. My bad. My bad.
Not even like I think my first semester we got scholarships. And my
Oh.
first semester, I'm not kidding you, I think I got like $100, maybe $180 as
like,
my
"Ooh."
scholarship. Yeah. I'm
Don't
like,
spend it all in one
great.
place.
I'm like, that covers me
One
because I had
class.
to
That's
move
like one
in like
class.
3 days early.
Oh, yeah.
And so that covered my 3 days of early move in. Because I had to pay per day that I was there early for JP. And so that
Dude.
covered the 3 days. I was like, lovely.
Wow.
But no, as I got older and the longer you're with the team and with the program, like the scholarships go up. And in my senior year, it was like in the thousands for scholarships. But yeah, it's nowhere near NCAA like athletes their scholarships. But I wasn't like recruited for dance by any means, and you have to audition for dance teams. And so I found Boise State, decided to like commit here for the school, and then I wasn't even going to try out for the dance team because I didn't think I was good enough. And my parents threatened me and they said, if you don't try out for the dance team, they're like, we don't care if you like fall on your face and like don't make it. They're like, we just want you to try out, because they thought I was good enough. And so they literally were like, you're not allowed to go to Boise State if you don't try out for the dance team. So I was going to have to go to like
Man.
UNR or UNLV, which aren't bad schools by any means, but I just wanted to like get out of Vegas and get out of Nevada. And so I was like, okay, fine. So I practiced so hard, like every day for a month straight leading up to auditions. And somehow, some way, by God's will, I made it. But
Man.
literally by the grace of God, I made the team, because I was a struggle bus throughout that audition.
Oh.
But made it, and then 4 years later. So kind of crazy. But yeah, that's how I came to Boise State. But I didn't come for dance. I came for the school.
Oh.
And then I just auditioned for the dance team. So, yeah, dance is like very different.
Is your sister doing dance, or is she doing cheer?
She's never cheered. She's committed to Hawaii.
Oh, that's so cool.
And she's definitely not trying out for first semester just because you have to be there so early.
Yeah.
And she wants her last summer with her friends.
Yes.
So
No, that makes
probably
sense.
I'd be shocked if she doesn't second semester. She's trying to tell
Yeah.
us like, oh, I don't know if I'll miss it.
Yeah.
She's gonna miss it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. It's hard. Even like the first year, like I'm still in the dance world, but it's like anyone else that like leaves their sport after college. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
hard. Or even after high school, like it's hard giving that up, you know?
How does it feel being a NARP now?
Don't
we
even
learned
get
that
me
term, Abby.
started.
Abby, we learned it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did Abby
that's
teach you what a NARP is?
Yeah.
Did you
I
not
don't
know
remember.
before
I
that?
didn't know what that was. Yeah.
Oh.
I still don't.
Non-athlete, regular person.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we're NARPs. Well, all 3 NARPs here.
Yeah, we're all NARPs now, but a year ago I wasn't. But no, it's different. Like it's definitely, and being a part of Boise State, like when you're like the athletic community here is so amazing and like so supportive, and everyone kind of knows everyone, and it's so like crazy still knowing all those people and like seeing it all the time, and like but being away from it and being a part of it. And it's like, it's hard. Like I'm not like dance was, and it's still a part of me. It's still a part of me with my new job now that we can talk about later. But it's like dance has been my life for so long. And so not being like a dancer, I am in like to some extent, but not being like an athlete college dancer anymore. It's been hard. Like, it's not an easy transition at all.
So you're telling me that you don't just randomly break into dance halfway through, like...
Oh, no, I do all the time. And
Okay.
with choreographing, some choreographers will, like, just tell a dancer, I need you to do this, this, and this. And then other choreographers actually, like, dance and make up the routine and, like, demonstrate it. So I'm, like, rolling around, I'm turning, I'm, like, throwing tricks, going all over the place because I want to try to demonstrate as best as I can so that way the dancers understand what I'm trying to portray with my choreo. And also, it, like, keeps me active and keeps me dancing, so I don't mind it. But, yeah.
Also, this kind of just popped in my head. You had an athlete backpack as well. Like, you know, the backpack.
The Boise State
Do you still have that, or did you sell it?
No, I still have it. It's so funny. All my friends, like, know this about me. Because that backpack was, like, so important to me. And it's like you walk around campus and
I know.
You feel like you're a big man on campus. Everyone knows you have your tags that have your name. We had a bow with our name on it. Like, you feel like so great about yourself and so, like, cool that you're an athlete, which is so stupid. Like, now that I see it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was so full of myself. But it's like a really cool backpack, and I used it, like, the summer, like, doing choreography just because I didn't know which backpack to get. And it was a good quality backpack, too, and, like, it fit everything I needed. So I was like, eventually I'm going to have to, like, give this thing up. So I still have it. It's packed away in a box with all my Boise State stuff. But, yeah, I don't use it anymore. I use a regular Lululemon backpack that I invested in. So, and I love that one, and it's great for choreography. It fits all my stuff, too, so.
Yeah, like, because we were talking with Abby and we were talking to other athletes. Apparently, they're, like, selling them for, like, $150 or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I'm sure I could go and sell it. But another thing, I think a lot of athletes here, I think back in the day, Spirit Squad used to get a new backpack every year. But I think it started my freshman year. They just said, like, because our team, I don't know if they all have the same backpack now, but I remember, like, my junior and senior year, every class had, like, a different style backpack. Because Nike, since, like, Boise State's has the contract with Nike remakes, like, a new backpack for all those schools every single year. So I've seen my same backpack, but, like, with Kentucky or, like, with different other schools that I've seen.
So it's just a universal.
Or, like, Alabama, like, my
backpack.
friend Caitlin has, like, the same backpack as the Boise State one, just the Alabama version. And so, but then Boise State will have a new backpack every year that they give their athletes, but then it's like Spirit Squad kind of got cut off a little bit. And the incoming class would get a new backpack.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's like 20 different versions, and they sell them in the student store sometimes. So
Really?
Yeah, and anyone can buy them.
Man. Dude, if they sold that,
they're like $100-something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If they sold that here, the whole, like, world would collapse at Boise.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's, like, the whole thing. Like, you see, like, an athlete with it and just, like...
They're cool backpacks, and they're good backpacks, too.
Man.
But, yeah, it was so funny. I was in the airport, and I saw, like, an older gentleman. He could have worked for Air Force. I really don't know. But it looks like an older backpack, like a backpack from back in the day, like the 80s or 90s. And it said Air Force Track and Field. And he was like an older guy. And I sent a picture to my friends. And I was like, this is going to be me when I'm 80 years old, still carrying around my Boise State backpack.
With the bow,
Especially
too.
in the airport. The airport is the best place to wear it. Because, like, it's an automatic conversation starter. People are always like, oh, Boise State, like, blah, blah, blah. What do you do there? And I'm like, oh, like, I'm on the dance team and stuff. So, yeah.
Man, that's great.
And then you see other athletes walking around with their backpack, and you're like, hey.
So are you going to ask for a GCU one when you're there?
Possibly. I hope I get some gear. If not, like, I'll survive. I think I would, though, since I'm, like...
I'm assuming you would.
Yeah, since I'm
Just
a coach,
only rep your
I would
Boise
hope.
State stuff.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I bought, like, my first shirt the other day just to have, and I'm sure I'll buy tons of gear throughout. But I feel like since I'm a coach, they would give me gear, I hope.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. I would hope so. If not, totally okay. Won't be offended. But
Yeah.
I would assume so. I would
Unless they
assume
want
that
you just
I would
wearing-
get some GCU dance team gear.
You should get, like, just a purple shirt and then just, like, Sharpie it in.
I know, just write it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because college gear is, like, expensive.
I know. But leading into that,
Yeah.
your new opportunity that you got.
Yes. So I am so excited about this. Like I said, the first year, like post grad, is so hard. And it was like for so long, I was like questioning what I was supposed to be doing because I studied like sports media in college. And I thought I wanted to be a sports journalist for the longest time. And as I was getting closer to graduation, I realized like that's not really the world that I want to be a part of. I know that I wanted to be like around sports and in the sports world, but not as much as a reporter and a journalist. That could still change, but as far as right now. And so my goal is to like work in college athletics. And so for the past year I was doing choreography, just kind of following that path. And then I knew like eventually I knew that a lot of dance teams had grad assistant positions. And or honestly a lot of colleges, like I was kind of open to, I felt like I was able to do so much with my major at Boise State and with like being involved in athletics too, that it's like I could kind of go a lot of different routes when it comes to like I've applied for email marketing positions, and it's like I never worked as an email marketer, like marketing person, but I took a class on it in college. And so it's like I had that experience and was able to like get to final round interviews for that type of thing. But so I knew that I wanted to get my master's eventually, and there was an opportunity with Boise State, and I kind of considered it, and it just didn't really work out how I like wanted it to and kind of needed it to. And so I was really sad about that, but continue to do dance choreography. And then my boss right now for choreography, she sent me a job application with the GCU dance team. So I applied and I got the position. So I'll be working as a grad assistant for GCU's dance team.
Woo.
And they're going to pay for my master's, and I'm going to get my master's in sports business. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, I moved down to Arizona in beginning of August, which is like crazy because I never saw myself moving to Arizona. I always thought I was going to like move to Texas or like,
Yeah.
that's literally what I told everyone. I was like, I would literally like post it all the time. I'm like, I can't wait to move to Texas. Had no
Sounds like
job
me with
lined up in
Florida.
Yeah.
Texas.
Sounds like me with Florida.
Yeah, had no job lined up in Texas whatsoever. Was just like, I want to move to Texas. And I always thought about Austin. And then I actually went to go visit, and it's a really cute city and I love it. But I just didn't see myself there. And then I was like, well, shoot, what do I do now? I kind of told everyone I was moving to Texas. And so I just stayed in Vegas for a year, saved some money, lived at home. And so now I get to move to Arizona, which I never saw myself moving to. But then again, I never saw myself coming to Boise until it happened, and it turned out to be the best decision ever. So
The
I
funny
hear
thing,
that from everybody.
yeah.
I feel like everybody here is like, oh, I didn't think I'd be here,
Yeah.
but here we are.
Yeah. And everyone just like falls in love with the campus as soon as you like see it and visit and tour. So
the funny thing is, I just kind of clicked. I was like, you know, because I know you've. If I had $1 for every single time I've heard her say she's gonna move somewhere, I would probably be a rich
Yeah.
like at this point.
Every
like,
time a job opportunity would come, I would text Adam and I would be like, I might be moving to Memphis. I might
Yeah.
be moving to Florida.
I'm like, okay.
I'm like, oh, there's a job in Boston or like.
I know. I'm like,
And I thought about doing the like pro route for a long time, and that could still be in my future. But as far as like right now, it's just like a really hard industry to get into when it comes to pro dance. And it's like, it's all about connections, but also it's like you have to, like, sometimes you just have to have the right, like, what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And that means the right body type, even like dance styles. Like each team is so different. Like what Raiderettes do on the sideline, completely different from what like Patriots cheerleaders do. And so it's like trying to find a team that fits like the things that I'm good at and can excel at, but also like what they're looking for in a cheerleader. And so I've like that could still be in my future, but for the longest time I was like going back and forth of like, do I go and get my master's or do I pursue this other dream of mine? And so pursuing my master's. So yeah.
What does pro dance look like? Like outside of like an NBA or an NFL team, is there other pro dance opportunities? Like,
Yeah.
I have no idea.
There's a lot. I mean, the dance industry is so big. So, I mean, as far as like opportunities, I mean, shows in Vegas, like those are professional dance opportunities. Being a choreographer is like a pro kind of like dance opportunity. And then there's a lot of like smaller teams. Like I know there's like a lacrosse team in Vegas and like they have a dance team. Or like our NHL team in Vegas, the Golden Knights, they have kind of like a show like dance team. but it's like each team is so different. And I will say a lot of those teams usually have poms and they're usually on the sideline and they're cheering. So it's very similar to college, but then each team is different. Like NBA is a lot more kind of like hip hop and like jazzy, like commercial dance, if that makes sense. Like the stuff you see on like the commercials, like that type of dancing. Where like NFL, a lot of teams are like those Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders with the poms and like the big triangle formation, doing like the dance on the sideline. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen DCC, the show.
DCC.
Yeah, Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Yeah,
I've
like
never
reality
seen-
show.
It's like
Every
a
single
whole
time they're
show
on the-
on,
every
is
single
it
time they're on the-
CMT? Is CMT a
CMT.
network?
I have no
I
idea.
think it's on CMT.
When I see
could be
Cowboys
wrong.
games, I'm like, nope.
Yeah, but
Avert.
I would say DCC is like the pro like cheerleader. Like they are the top of the top. Like making that team is so hard. And they have a whole TV show about it. Their audition process is actually insane.
Well, they're probably the most notorious like dance
yes.
team.
Yeah, like they
I
are
wouldn't know. I
top
don't
tier. Like
See them.
a lot of people know who DCC like is.
Mhm.
And so as far as like pro cheerleading, like they're the top of the top.
Mm. Is
So.
there like a difference between like cheering for like the Dallas Cowboys and like for a singer like on a stage, like being a marshmallow for Rihanna's halftime concert? Or
Yeah, so it is a lot different as far as like the different styles of dance. Cause Rihanna, like that choreographer Paris, she choreographs a lot for kind of like studio competitions, but also does like commercial work. She's an incredible choreographer. She does a lot of music video choreography too. That's like a whole other world in itself, where it's like the cheer world, that's more like pom style, and it's called like NFL cheerleader pom is what people call it. It's just like different. But then high school pom and even like college pom, like competition wise, is even just a different type of pom. Like it's insane. There's so many just like subcategories and subcategories for those subcategories. Like
Mhm.
the dance world is actually insane.
Yeah,
How big it is.
I don't remember what's like the big college competition.
Daytona?
So
Not the one
there's
Boise State
two-
goes to, but the
Yes, yeah. So there's UDA, which
I think
is
that's the one. Yeah.
so there's UDA and then there's NDA. But then with that, both of those brands are underneath this big company called Varsity.
Mhm.
And Varsity is like the mega moneymaker when it comes to like dance. Like they're the top of the top. They're like the DCC of dance team world.
Mm.
And so yeah, Varsity owns both UDA and NDA. Boise State goes to NDA, which is in Daytona. So the Netflix show Cheer, that's the same competition that Boise State would go to,
Oh.
just the cheer
That's
version.
actually a good show.
Yeah, no, it is a good show. There's a lot of controversy around that and what's happening with that team right now. But yeah, so we went to Daytona. Boise State still goes, and then their cheer team, Boise's cheer team, goes to UCA, which is the UDA version. I would say as far as dance, both are like really big. UDA is a lot more competitive.
Yeah,
than NDA is.
I watched a lot of actually the UDA competition this year. Just
Yeah, like
one
Minnesota,
of my coworkers,
Ohio State, like those big schools that
San Diego
win.
State was good too.
Yes, SDSU was so good. UNLV wins like every year. So that's like the competition is just so much harder and like difficult, and this stuff they're doing. I mean, teams were putting back tucks in like their routines this year because Varsity had made it legal for college nationals, and so it's like the scale of that competition is just mega. But GCU does compete at UDA.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to go, hopefully. I assume that I would go to nationals with them. But
Along
they
with your
compete
Sharpie
along
shirt.
with my gear that I might receive, hopefully. But yeah, so they go to UDA. They just compete in just because GCU is like a smaller school and they don't have like a football team and stuff, they compete in D1. Where like Minnesota, Ohio State, UNLV, they compete in D1A.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, when I was watching that, it's the timing really is insane to me. I think it was
Yeah.
specifically San Diego State did a routine to Money in the Grave.
Oh my gosh, that routine is so good.
And there was just one part where everyone was moving perfectly in sync where there's no
Mhm.
reason they should have been. I'm like,
Yes.
it was insane.
No, that's what, yeah. That's like, and that's part of like the execution and like uniformity parts of the like score sheet when it comes to dance. So, but yeah, SDSU's routine was so good. I actually got to go to college nationals live this year. My agency was able to pay for like our stay. We just had to pay for our flight. So, and it's like, and it's such a great networking opportunity too,
Yeah.
because you just get to meet these coaches and other choreographers that it's like, that college nationals is like big time. Like that is like the Super Bowl of dance that weekend.
That's exactly. I was watching it with my coworker because
Yeah.
she danced at UW last year.
Oh, nice.
And she was like, watch this with me because I
Yeah.
made her watch the 49ers playoff game with me the week before.
Trade off.
And so we were watching the dance competition.
Trade off Super Bowls.
Yeah, and she was like, this is my Super Bowl.
Yes, yeah. Every dancer and even cheerleader, like their Super Bowl, they always say like, this is my Super Bowl. And it's that college nationals weekend. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I got to go and network and see everything live. And literally, yeah, SDSU was so good. UNLV is just.
I feel like I remember LSU having a really good hip hop routine too.
Yeah, there's the reason they didn't do so well because they won in 2022. Their type of hip hop, it would have been great for like a commercial type dance, like as Beyonce's backup dancers. That would have been like an amazing routine. But as far as like the hip hop category, it just didn't really fit along the lines of hip hop. So it's hard. But the year before, their choreographers are amazing. And the year before, they had won. And so, yeah, theirs was really good, but it was more of like a commercialized, like jazzy hip
Just
hop.
didn't fit.
Which is why I don't think it did as well.
Who's like the coolest or funniest like celebrity, athlete, coach, whatever that you've like met in your like the weirdest encounter or like the coolest?
Oh, I know. Like, can it be anyone? It doesn't
yeah,
have to
just
be
could
dance,
be
right?
it could be anyone.
Okay,
Yeah.
Leon Rice from Boise State basketball. I love Leon. I saw him at he was like far away, so I didn't say hi. But I saw him at I think that was him at the concert last night.
Really?
I think it might have not been him, but I swear I saw him and he was wearing a cowboy hat. And
Dude,
I look up and I go,
there's a photo.
Leon!
There's a photo of him with a cowboy hat, like in
Okay,
one of the
then
interviews.
he was there
It's so
because
funny.
he was in like the skybox, and I looked up behind me because I had like my coach was up there, our choreographers at Boise were up there, so I was like saying hi to them, and I like saw Leon, but probably Leon. I love him, I adore him. I think he is like the funniest person ever. And when I was the sports editor for the Arbiter, I would have to cheer a basketball game and then go to the press conference afterwards. And it was like super stressful. And I'm not kidding. I would show up in my uniform. And it's like, I mean, everyone knew who I was.
Yeah.
And like the room is pretty small, like as far as people. And like all the reporters know each other. And so it's so funny because Leon would walk in. And I remember the first time he like looked at me and he goes, "So are you on the cheer team?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "That's so cool." He's like, "Good for you. Like you go and cheer and then you come do this." And there was one interview, he walked in and he goes, "Hello, working media." And then he goes, "Hello, Superwoman." And he like looks at me and he goes, "She goes and cheers a basketball game, then she comes here, and then afterwards she goes and fights crime." And so he's just like so cool and always made me feel like so important and that I was meant to be there. And especially as a woman working in sports, like sometimes those opportunities don't always like come about, and which is totally okay. It's just like it's very different, and women are perceived as like not knowing enough about sports. I feel like that's starting to change a lot, and I'm really glad about that. But I mean, and women in the sports industry, I mean, Erin Andrews and like the creepy guy like with the hole in the hotel room, like women in sports are sometimes really sexualized too. And especially with me showing up to a post-game press conference in my uniform, like that's an opportunity to like for something like that to happen. And everyone just always made me feel so comfortable and that I was meant to be there and supposed to be there. And I'm so grateful for that. But yeah, he's awesome. He's so funny and just entertaining and like goofy and totally like himself. So
Awesome.
yeah, probably him. I have a lot of respect for him. So
Well, that was great.
Wait, I have one more. We didn't even ask the most basic question ever. What's your favorite like style of dance?
ooh,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
a good
that's true.
one. It's really hard because there's so many different styles. So I guess I can do two, or I'll do three different ones. So my first one, my favorite style to watch is 100% hip hop. No matter whether it's studio, all-star, dance team style, like commercialized hip hop, like everything is just, I just love watching hip hop. As far as choreography, pom is probably my favorite. I grew up doing pom, even though we didn't compete pom in college. A lot of what we did on the sideline, it's similar movement, I guess, just kind of different execution, if that makes sense. So pom is my favorite style to choreograph. But to actually dance, that one's hard. I really love like sideline and game day type of style. But as far as like emotion, like when I'm having a hard day and I want to dance, like I'll go and do jazz. Like I'm not
Okay.
going to sit there and like improv to like a hip hop song. I'm going to go and like dance and like get my emotion out doing like a jazz or a lyrical.
You ever do any contemporary?
Yeah, so I choreograph. It's funny because in like the dance team world, jazz is just like jazz. And so a team could come and do like a funky, sassy jazz, or they could come and do like a soft lyrical, or they could come and do like a hard-hitting contemporary routine. Where in the all-star world, they do kind of have those two different categories.
Yeah.
So sometimes like an all-star team will need me to do a lyrical, and then sometimes they need like a jazz. And the score sheets kind of tell how to like differentiate with movement. But yeah, so I do like contemporary and lyrical stuff too.
Contemporary and lyrical has always been my favorite to watch.
Yeah, it's so like pretty, and if dancers can like execute the quality of movement, it's like it can be so beautiful to watch. So
Yeah.
but yeah.
Also, as we kind of already mentioned, you were my boss for a year.
Yeah.
What was the most annoying thing I did
Oh,
Ooh. Good
as like on the spot, pressure's on.
I'm trying to think.
I know I was a pain at the beginning of the year.
At the beginning, yeah. I feel like towards the end, like it was fine. I'm really trying to think. I don't think there was anything. I think you would just
Pressure's
like
on.
crack jokes sometimes that I was like, but also I remember myself when I was a freshman and like I was an idiot. Like you do a lot of growing up and maturing throughout college. And so you were fresh out of high school and you were working with juniors and seniors. And some people were fifth years too.
Yeah.
And so it's like you're working in an environment where you are the youngest one, and it's like you kind of have to learn like maturity level. So I think that was the biggest thing is like me being a senior and you being a freshman, like the maturity level was just, and especially like boys, no offense, but boys mature later than girls. Like it's just like science and facts. And so I completely understood, but sometimes it would get like a little annoying. But it was mostly just towards the beginning, and then we had a convo, and then we were fine. But yeah,
That was
just
great.
like immature jokes that you
Yeah.
would make. But then again, we made a lot of jokes with each other. So
But then that was also like we didn't even really know each other at the beginning of the year, and then
Exactly.
after by
Yeah.
the end it was kind of just like
yes,
But-
and then we got to know each other, and now you know some
Yeah.
of my like big secrets.
Well, thank you.
and we confide in each other
Yeah.
a lot too.
Thank you also for exposing my geography.
Oh yeah.
Because now, at least we're two years out from that.
Do they still talk
one
about
of the
it?
they still talk about it to this day.
What was it that you didn't know? What was a country or like where it was, or was it a state?
I don't remember, but it
you,
was something.
you didn't know where
she-
Hawaii was or something like that.
that was something I didn't know. And
or
then
you
no,
didn't
but
know
I think
something
I
was
said
an island.
no. I think there was a
Wasn't it that?
country that they mentioned, and I was like, what state is that or
Oh
something? or...
no, you thought it was fake. Like you thought
Oh,
that's what
maybe.
it
I
was.
think it
I
was.
think someone said a country and you're like, haha, that's funny. And I was like, no, that's actually a real place.
And then
you're
no
like,
one heard
"No."
it. No one heard it. And then
Yeah.
you're like, can we just bring back the fact that Adam just said this?
I was like,
And then-
wait a second, because no one else heard this, and
Yeah.
it's really like bothering me that no one else heard this.
Yeah,
was
so
funny.
that was great. So everyone in the office for that year, and then all of this year, knew I just didn't know geography, which I mean, kind of just comes out. We had an episode not that long ago that was like skis, and then I said, it was like I think the answer was like Spain. We tried to do like name the countries, and then I think it was like one was Spain, and I said like Sweden or something.
No,
Oh.
it was Switzerland because it had like mountain. It was like guess the country by emojis or something.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So it was like a mountain and skis and chocolate.
oh yeah.
So I
you
said
would think
Switzerland.
Swiss, yeah.
And
yeah.
I think he said Spain. So,
Yeah, I don't know why.
which just makes like not even one of those things makes any sense. But
Honestly, it's kind of not concerning, but like
What?
last year, not you, no.
Oh, I was like, oh wow.
I would go work with different teams,
Okay.
and I would say like, yeah, I'm from Las Vegas, and it was mostly like teams on the other side of the United States, and they would be like, is that next to California? Or they're like, are you from California? And I'm like, do you not know what
Las
state
Vegas,
Las
California?
Vegas is in? And
Well, okay, that kind of I mean, that kind of makes sense because it's like Los Angeles, Las
it's
Vegas. They might have,
close. Yeah,
well, like, because Los Angeles is
Yeah.
big, so they might have thought just the loss,
maybe.
and then maybe, but
I
Yeah.
also think they just
Or-
know a city that big.
Yeah,
Probably.
or a
Yeah.
team was like, is that next to, or they said something, they were like, oh, where's California? And they were like, is it on the East Coast? I go, sweetheart, you're on the East Coast. I was like, you live in Florida. I'm like, California's on the other side.
Exposing those Floridians.
It's okay. She would laugh about it, but, and it's funny because I called her
man.
Val because she wants to be like valedictorian or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I called her Val throughout choreography. That was like my nickname for her. I'm really calling her out now, but
I know.
no, I love her. I love that team, and I went to I'm really close with them. Went to nationals with them, but yeah, I was like, girl, you don't know where California is, and you like wanted to pursue this.
Oh man,
it was funny, but
man, that's great. At least I know where California is.
Yeah. Well, you did used to live there, so
yeah,
I would hope you
hopefully.
would know where that is.
I mean, may not know where Hawaii is, but apparently,
Or how to read a number.
That's okay.
Or how to read a number. Yeah, there's a lot of things I can't do, but I think we kind of covered dance and cheer for dummies.
Yeah.
Primarily for me, Carter already knew way more than cheer than I.
I mean, I wouldn't say I knew a lot, but
I didn't know half the words
I
you
had
said.
some background knowledge,
Yeah,
a little
I feel
bit.
like if you have a sibling that, I mean, it goes the same for me. Like, I don't know everything about lacrosse, but I know more than like another person would because my brother grew up playing it and I was just always around it. So it's like things like that. Like your sister grew up around dance, so it's like you're just forced to know. Or like a lot of people don't know about flag football, but my sister played flag football all throughout high school and she was a quarterback, and so it's like I learned a lot about that because I would go to her games and watch her. So
a lot of recitals and competitions.
Oh, I'm sure, and those are long days.
Preteen Carter was not super happy to be at.
Yeah, I don't blame you. They're long days, even just like watching. Like thankfully, growing up, I just got to go and like you're just focused on like the routines that you have to perform. But when you're watching, like, shout out to my mom for being at every single one and never missing a competition.
My mom never missed one of hers. And she'd be like
they're
running back and
long
forth,
days,
like taking her stuff.
And my mom's like watching other teams, especially at nationals. Like my mom and dad would get so into it, especially in high school. I would like come off stage and my dad would give me a breakdown. He was like, okay, so her turns were off on this part. She's like, the team turns weren't really together, but aerials looked good. And he was like, your jump looked awesome. And he was like, but your transition here was a little off. And I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, can you just give me a hug and tell me I did a good job? I was like, I don't need a breakdown of like the performance. But senior year of college, like we had finally gotten to a point where like we were good and we were so proud of like what we put out there and like every single thing hit. So I remember coming off stage for jazz. My mom was like emotional and crying. And my dad was like, that was awesome. And he like was so excited. And usually he would always try to like break it down afterwards. And he never did. He was like, you guys looked so good. And that just felt good because I know how much they like get into it. So especially with the scoring and the judges, my dad would always get pissed at the judges.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So just giving a little context here. We had a secret game. So you know there's a game.
Okay.
Didn't know what it is.
Yeah.
Carter didn't even know what it is.
Yeah,
I didn't even.
I still
I'm
don't-
nervous.
I still
Okay.
don't know what it is.
So what it is called choreo or no.
Oh, God.
So it's choreographed, I guess, dances. Or
My
you're
bad,
supposed to.
bro.
Okay. So
I still don't know what it
it
means.
says choreo or no. So it's a choreographed dance.
Stop.
And it's the name of it. And we have to guess if it's a real name of a choreographed dance or if it's not.
Okay. Interesting.
We have these whiteboards here. Let me
Dude,
get
I
them.
don't understand what this.
Like, what do you mean, like, names?
I have the same question.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Okay.
You said
I
it.
told
like I
told
need to
ChatGPT to do this and my mom to put them into a
Oh.
slideshow. So I asked
We
ChatGPT.
use ChatGPT for song requests all the time.
Really?
Yeah, like if we want to mix, we'll say like we want like a wildcat like jungle theme mix, and ChatGPT or my Snapchat guy or whatever will like give
My
me
AI.
songs.
I
My
hate
AI.
my AI.
He's
Yeah.
my guy.
I hate
It's
that
my
thing.
AI. It's
Oh,
like,
I love mine.
I was
He's
beefing
the
with
best.
I was beefing with mine.
literally,
He got my AI got so in his feels he stopped talking to me.
yeah, he's like, I'm not
Stop.
talking
Like
to you.
everything I said, he would just like copy and paste. Sorry, we're not speaking right now.
Shut up.
So the next morning, I'm like, "Are you still in your feels?" He's like, "I'm doing better now. Thank you for asking."
Mine's kind of sassy. He likes to sass me, and I'm
Man.
like, "You're extra sassy today," and he's like, "That's just who I am." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." Okay, listen.
So your name, I'm assuming they're choreographed dance names. and we just have to see if they're made up names or if they're actual legit like dance names.
Okay, we'll see because
We'll
I don't
see.
really understand it.
Yeah,
but
me neither.
We'll get it.
Okay, Vogue.
Oh yeah, that's a style of dance. Oh,
What,
sorry.
you just gave out the Whoa,
Okay,
that's
but
a
now
hard
I
one.
get it. That was
Okay,
like
yeah,
the test
that was
run.
a test one.
Okay,
So,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. So
Chat
we can just
GPT
put
did
yay.
good.
We can
Yes,
put
that
yeah.
is. It's a style of like hip hop. Is voguing.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
So-
maybe
and then
we
you can
can
put
do
your
that, and if I
scorecard
know
on there.
it,
Okay, so it's
if I
styles.
know it, I can like talk about it and like tell you guys.
Okay,
if I
afterwards.
know it, yeah.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, we got the first one right.
Yay.
That's probably the only point I'm getting.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Oh, that's okay. Yeah. So that's a yes. If it's choreo, then it means it's yes. So that was a point. So right after it says if it's right or wrong.
I was
Oh,
gonna
okay.
say.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I was
so
like, that's not
what it
one.
means. The sprinkler.
Okay.
Okay. Do you guys have your answers?
Yeah.
I put no.
I said no.
The sprinkler?
Well, is that like a?
It's a dance move.
Is it?
Well,
I don't know if it's counted.
I don't
or
know
not.
if it counts.
It counts.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay,
that
I
was
got that one.
that was a layup too.
We
Oh,
over-
yeah, the
we
man.
overthought
sprinkler
that
is like
one
a
a little
dance
bit.
move.
Like
it's like
the-
a party dance. Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah, it's like.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that was
This is
that was
fun.
off.
I get
awful.
it now.
The funky chicken twist.
I swear
Okay.
to God.
You got it.
Yeah.
Put yes.
I said no.
I said
Oh,
no.
no. Is it? Damn
Yeah.
it! It just felt like it was gonna be something that like random.
It could be.
Oh man.
I just don't want less. I'm playing for
I'm still
second.
dying about
Yeah.
Vogue.
Electric. Oh.
'Kay.
I mean,
But yeah.
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 Yes. Okay. What do you know about the electric slide?
It's just like it's like a wedding dance or like a party dance. That's what they call it. Or like the sprinkler. It's like a dance move that a lot of people know. Or like cha-cha slide. Like those. Like I call those like party dances
Mm.
because people do them at like weddings or like birthday parties or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Do you know how many
Right.
there are?
The flamingo fling.
Oh. I don't know. Okay. 3, 2, 1. I said
No.
no.
Put no as well.
But it could be. Okay.
No. Okay. We got that right.
Because then there's like ballroom style of dance, and it's the flamenco. I want to say it's like a type of ballroom.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
ballroom's a whole other world that I
Man.
don't want to get into, and I know nothing about. So, okay. 3,
There we
2,
go.
1.
I'm
Put
sticking
no.
with
I
no.
said no. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Pressure's on. How many points?
So
do you have
did
right now?
Chat
Five, four.
GPT
Four.
do this slideshow, or did you
My
do this
mom
slideshow?
did the slideshow.
Gotcha. Shout out to your mom.
Yeah. But ChatGPT was the one that put it in. That's why
Okay.
they're in brackets because I put
Yeah.
put in the brackets, put the answer or put the question here.
Okay.
So I think she just kind of just
Gotcha.
Thriller.
Okay. 3,
Hey,
2,
yeah.
1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
Okay. Well, I didn't. Okay. I mean that makes sense.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
love
5.
Michael Jackson.
Me too.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Have you ever like put the cha-cha slide like into like a choreographed dance that you've done?
No,
No.
it's like the thing with choreography is they're constantly looking for like unique movement.
Mm.
Like that's the whole thing, and that's something I've learned as a choreographer and received feedback from like judges on is like not doing something that's been done before. Even when it comes to movement, obviously there's certain jumps and turns that it's like that's just the standard, and if you don't execute it like how it's supposed to be, then you're going to get points taken off. But as far as like the actual movement, trying to be as unique as possible and like never seen before.
Well, it's also like
Um,
stressful coming up with those like newer dances.
It's a lot, and I did like 27 routines last year, which like most choreographers do like
Damn.
10 max. So the fact that I'm like actually
27?
insane for doing 27, I was like losing my mind by the end of it because it's like a new dance every single time, and it's like you like one big no about being a choreographer is like recycling choreography. Like you recycle choreography, you're blacklisted from the industry
So
like automatically.
Do choreographers not have like a signature thing at all?
No, they
don't have
do.
like a
yeah.
pattern.
And as a dancer, I've learned that like using a choreographer year after year, there's gonna be similarities within the routine. Or like there was a choreographer that every like time we needed to transition or something, we would do like a bug down or something like that. So there's definitely like signature things or like signature styles. Like for jazz, I have like a lot of straight, like hard hitting arm stuff. It's never the same like T then up then down, but it's like a similar
So if
vibe.
you
So
saw,
signature feel is
yeah,
like correct. Yeah.
if you saw two different dances, do you think you could tell if they were choreographed by the same person?
I think if it depends on the style. Like, because obviously I do a lot of styles. So, like, a pom versus a jazz would be very different on, like, who that choreographer might be. But as far as hip hop, like, I know our choreographer at Boise, I will see a routine and I'm like, that looks like a Joey routine. And sure enough, it, like, turns out he choreographed it. So sometimes, yeah, choreographers have that, like, signature look. Especially with like spacing. Sorry to go on about
No,
this.
you're good.
No.
Especially when it comes to like staging and stuff, a lot of choreographers do like unique transitions that are almost like signature to them. So yeah, I feel like you can definitely tell. Or like my boss for choreography, I can tell when a routine is hers. So, but yeah, I've also seen a lot of her work and I've helped her on a lot of her work. And so working with her, she's like, okay, we're gonna do this here, and I was like, oh, she used that before, like, but in a different routine in a different part or something like that. Yeah.
Do they do like a script? Like they just have a piece of paper and they're like the move and like
Kind
flow chart
of.
or
So
some
I'll
shit?
go and I'll like map out a routine. So I will write out every single 8 count in the music and then any like sound effects without it or with it. And then from there I will plan out, okay, I want turns in the 8th 8 count. Or I want a jump here on count 5 in the 13th 8 count and stuff like that. So I kind of map it out. And then from there, once I have all my tricks and lifts and jumps and turns planned out, then I go in and that's when I start to add choreography. So that's how I map it out. And then it's an app called Arrange Us, and it's just a formations app. And that's how I do all my formations.
Oh.
Was there any like trick that took you a long time to get down? Because I remember, I'm bringing up my sister again, but
Yeah.
when she was first trying to get down an aerial,
Oh, don't even get me started
And
about an
there were-
aerial.
What is an what is an aerial?
It's a
Like
no-handed
yeah.
cartwheel.
When you okay, at first when you said aerial, I was thinking like the mermaid.
The Little Mermaid.
But then I was thinking it's probably aerial like in the air.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
yeah, there was a lot of summer days just at the YMCA, me shooting around playing basketball,
and she's practicing her
and she's
aerial.
practicing with my mom right there. And
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, an aerial, and that's the thing is an aerial is a very standard skill. Like it's hard to get, but it took me forever to get mine. Like I tried all throughout high school, and then the reason I was almost like shocked that I made Boise's team, it's a requirement to have an aerial to make Boise's team. And I was really close, but I auditioned and I didn't have it fully, which is why I was very surprised that I made it and very grateful that I made it. But as soon as I made the team in like May. I got my aerial by like November, and then the following season we had to get our other side. So I had to get my other side aerial. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I got to start from square one. And then a rubber band is a really difficult trick too.
I don't know that one.
It's a hip hop trick. So pretty much you like prep like you're going to do a back handspring a little bit, but you go back and you land. I was concussed twice in college from rubber bands. And you have to tuck your head because you land on like your spine right here. And you come back and your legs are like in a pike, and then you just rebound back up.
Oh, okay. What's like the best
Man.
one you've seen though?
What?
What is?
Oh, I went to Stagecoach, and that was really fun.
Okay.
And I will say Riley Green and Lainey Wilson, they opened for Luke Combs, and they're just incredible.
And that was this like last concert
What?
they opened.
Yeah,
Oh.
like last night.
Man.
But I saw them at Stagecoach too.
Yeah, I went to the Kid Leroy to try to see Jeremy Zucker open, and he wasn't even there.
Dude, Leroy
I'm
was
like, dude.
amazing.
Really?
Leroy was
I wasn't
so
a fan.
good.
The only one I was a fan of was when they had the DJ and they're playing Drake songs in the beginning.
Dude, you know Leroy was good.
I mean, that was a good, decent
His
one.
throat was all messed up, and he was still hitting every note.
Yeah,
He was
something
so
Morgan
good.
Wallen would never do.
Shut
Yeah,
up. Shut up.
I will say
Shut up.
the most fun concert I've been to, it was like a free state fair in Iowa. I was there for a choreo job with my boss, and we went to like the state fair and we had pre-gamed before. And
As you do.
yeah, and we go back and Young Gravy's performing, and so we go back around and we're just hanging out. And Young Gravy comes off. There's a bunch of fans. They're asking for autographs. He keeps on looking at like my boss and I. And then all of a sudden,
think I know
the
this
security
story.
guard walks up to us and goes, "Hey, Young Gravy wants to invite you guys backstage. Come with me." And so we go backstage, and he like maybe said 2 words to us. I didn't even care that he wasn't like interested anymore. I just cared. The manager asked for our numbers to give to Young Gravy, but
He doesn't even need to do anything at that point.
He said 2 words to me the whole night, and I was like, honestly, I'm just happy to be back here. And then Waka Flocka performed after him, and I got on stage with him while he was like performing, and then I got a photo with him.
Yeah, not a bad day.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that, and I just completely
Waka Flocka
forgot.
performed
like,
in
"Damn."
Iowa?
Yeah, it literally at like a free state fair. It's like John Party or like
Yeah.
Parker McCollum when they came here,
Are you?
but for Iowa.
I guess probably not, since you're going to Arizona. Party's playing for free in Jackson Hole in like
Really?
a week.
I saw him at Stagecoach. I've seen him twice now, so like I'm okay. I don't need to see John Party again.
Yeah.
His songs are really good though. But Kane Brown was probably my favorite at Stagecoach. His range
Oh,
is
yeah.
like incredible. He can sit there and like sing like a higher like pitch or whatever, but then he can sit there and rap, or he can sit there and like sing like a lower pitch song.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, should be fun. I've only been to like 3 concerts. Not gonna lie.
yeah, you're
Oh,
not
I've been to a
concert person.
ton, bro.
But-
There's
oh well,
Wait, you've been to 3?
I've only been to it like not probably more
We
than 3.
we have gone to 3 together in the last 2 weeks.
No, that is.
Do
I've
you
probably
count
been to like
those?
5 then
Okay.
at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Although
I've only
you,
been
you
to-
can't count one of them because you left after the first
That's
opener.
true.
Yeah.
There's a reason I left after the first opener.
Yeah, and
but,
it was a bad reason because it was a great concert.
Oh well. But okay. All right, back to the game.
Do I need to resync it?
Resync the game.
The
Audio. Yeah, probably.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Alright.
What was the last? Is it Disco and
Yeah.
Inferno Jam?
I really don't know this one.
Alright.
It could be.
I said
But
yes.
no.
I said yes too.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, let's go.
Wow, Adam, you got one. I know, because Disco Inferno is like a song, so I was like,
I was like, that
didn't
sounds like
know.
something AI generated. I was like,
Honestly,
it is.
yeah.
yeah, I know. Whew.
Oh. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
I said no.
I said no.
Damn it, no!
You said
And
yes?
I just lost the. We were tied, and then oh no. Can I do a
Salsa
wheel
is a
spin?
dance, but salsa
I don't
swirl.
even know
didn't
how
do
many there are,
before.
so.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes,
This is
Yeah,
a fun game.
Macarena. Oh,
Yeah. AI did good.
and
with
that's
this
it.
one.
that's it.
Oh no! All right, so I lost. So I have to spin the wheel. I mean, per usual. Let's just hope it's not something that's that bad.
Please
But
be send a text.
shock tato.
Come on.
Where's
I
that
just tried
potato?
it.
Such
Yeah,
a
off-
Mickey Mouse punishment.
Off air, I had to. I was actually not gonna do it. I let you both of you two do it, so I made this
Try
only
it
fair.
First.
That's I do it, I guess.
It's so scary.
Load it up,
It's gonna
bro.
turn on.
Camera gonna die.
It's not turning on.
Yay, respin.
No, I'm gonna make this work. I want this. Okay, there we go.
Oh.
All right.
I don't
So
know.
I just have to wait here. The
Anyway,
potato in my
I guess we'll
hand.
wrap up while you're waiting to be shot.
Yeah. I don't like this.
We'll just-
I've
we'll
already
just
have like
talk
pre-
and-
pre-shock jitters. I don't like this.
I'll go on into the outro
Yeah,
and
I
wait for you to
guess.
be shocked. But that's all the
yeah.
time we have today. Thank you for thank you for tuning into the Sports and Stuff show. We'd like to thank Lexi for coming on. You were
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
amazing
having
guest.
me. Thank you.
Make sure to follow all our socials at Sports and Stuff Show, except Twitter at SNS_show.
Is there anything you want to plug as well?
You can follow me on Instagram at Lexi Almeido or on
Okay.
TikTok
Woo!
at Lexi Almeido
Almeido.
too.
And we are back most Wednesdays and Fridays. It
Yeah.
is summer, so we're a little flexible, but usually 3 to 4 p.m. And you can listen on any podcasting platform once it's out. So thank you, and we will see you in the next one.
Peace.